if people are thinking about crypto as an asset category and they don't own a home, they make a minimum wage, what would you say to them about crypto?
I don't know if I have anything for them. Seriously. So if you don't have discretionary cash, really at the end of the day or end of the week, maybe Bitcoin isn't for you. And the reason, see, I don't want people to look at crypto and Bitcoin as, and they're going to, that's what happened in 2017, but look at it as a get rich quick thing.
Peace, peace. I'm here with longtime entrepreneur, the good brother from Detroit.
Yes, sir. I'm wearing your city hat today, though.
Repping the Giants. This man is a giant in the crypto space. Thanks for that lead in.
Oh my God, this guy.
Crypto blood. Thank you for doing this. I appreciate you.
Absolutely, Stefan. How are you, man? Do you have like a personality name, or you just go by Stefan?
It's Stevan. I'm glad you asked it
Stevan.
that way too.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, do you?
Nope.
Nope.
But Stevan is a common mispronunciation. They make the E short.
Yep. So I've always done that with you, actually.
Yeah. You're not alone. It's very common. So everyone, like Crypto Blood, is informing all of us how to accurately.
Stevo. That's what I'm just gonna call you from now on.
I started texting you again after my interview with Hotep Jesus.
That's my guy.
Yeah, and he was gracious enough, as you are, to come on to cook on Monday morning. And when I met you back in 2017 through the Civic Accelerator, you know, I had no idea that you were like internet famous.
I wasn't then. I don't think I was. I don't even think when we met, was that 16 or 17?
That was 17.
I hadn't started my channel yet then.
Okay. It wasn't, okay. Maybe it was 16, but I'll let you do a quick explanation, and then I want to get into sort of like how you built it.
Sure. So I started it, Stevan, back I did my first YouTube post, I want to say June of 2017. We were in New York in April together, and then we finalized everything and wrapped up in Seattle, right? And that was in when? August?
June?
Was it June? So I had literally, when the last time I saw you, which was in Seattle, that I either just started my channel or was about to. So I did a post on YouTube because I was so excited to finally get my dad into cryptos, man. And, I was just like, I'm going to do a video and just, document me going over my dad's house, finally getting him into cryptos. So I did the video. I'm like, well, I've got a business Gmail account for YouTube. And I'm like, oh, I got this Crypto Blood Gmail account I forgot about. Let me just go ahead and upload it on that. Because I actually created the Crypto Blood Gmail back in 2014. Okay. And I just sat on it. I didn't do anything with it. So that's kind of how the channel came about, man. Literally, I did a upload of, me going to see my dad to finally get him into crypto.
Is the impetus or is the direction more about when I watched the channel several times, and I've been like taking cues from you and Hotep, just like how y'all structure the discussions. Yep. You guys obviously have very different types of content, but you do like a news update and you do interviews. Right. And so is the impetus, so you definitely have a passion for the space. Are you trying to replicate what you did for your dad? Like get more people into it? Is that the goal? Or is it just to be an authority in the space? Like, how are you thinking about?
Yeah, so not really. So I don't do a lot of tutorial videos. I know that's very popular. I don't know, man. I just went with my gut and, pretty much informing individuals who are in the space or very interested in the space, just updating them on fundamental things for the most part. I'll do some technical analysis because I am a trader, 15 years of trading. So I do sparkle some of that in there. But the My Two Satoshi segments that I do is just, I kind of go through and curate the most important articles that I think should be, spread and disseminated for that day. And I report on it and I give you my 2 Satoshis on it,
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
that's that segment. And then I have the interviews, the kicking it sessions, which I'm really actually more passionate about, but they just don't get that much traction as the crypto news. But I like doing this, man. I like having conversations and picking people's brains and just having deep conversations.
Yeah, you're good at it too. I saw the interview. I've seen several of the interviews, but the one I'm bringing up now is the one with Robert Kiyosaki.
Oh yeah,
and
that was big.
Yeah, that book his book changed my life.
Same here.
And I watched the segments on crypto, and it comes off to me as someone that is pretty ignorant on the area, like very insider. Like you're talking, and I'm like, I have no idea what this dude is saying.
Right.
So I think, yeah, you definitely do describe it for where it sounds like it's more so an insider, people that are familiar with the space.
Yes.
Names and growth and like, so if you're active, it's kind of like
because look, man, my whole thing is I'm not gonna I got to do something that I feel comfortable doing every day or every other day or something like that. I can't force myself. I could be the tutorial guy, show you how to set up a wallet. I wouldn't be passionate about that and it wouldn't last. Or if I end up going down that road, and we're going to get into this later in the conversation, if I end up going down that road, now I'm kind of sticking myself into a box for certain type of advertisement. And then if I get attached to that, now I have to continue doing that type of content because those are the advertisers. Those sponsors want that type of content. I'm not going to do that. I suggest people, I hate the cliche, find your passion and then go, find out what makes money. And then from those things, find out which ones you're passionate about. That's what I say. So that's what I do, man.
I would agree with like a variation of that, because there are multiple ways to make money, but right. to actually get up and do this, like I'm on the West Coast. It's before 8 a.m. and you're in Detroit.
Right.
I like to get up early anyway, but neither one of us are necessarily getting paid to be here right now.
Right.
But like we enjoy, like to get up and actually do it is what I'm saying. You have to care about it.
That's the dream, man. That's the American dream to me. It's not to necessarily make a whole boatload of money. That may come with it. It may not. Just depends, kind of luck of the draw. But if you're passionate about and have fun doing what you do on a daily basis, it's not work, bro. It literally is it's not work. Mm-hmm. It's just what you do every day. Mm-hmm. And so to me, that's being wealthy. That's being happy. It's a whole thing that has to come together. It can't just be about money. It has to be your happiness, your joy, and your mental health, and all that combined. Your spiritual for some people. Mm-hmm. That has to be all there.
You have a great command of like the crypto space and things related to trading, and mm-hmm. just having gotten to know you before all of this. I know you have great insights on life also. Very great insights on politics.
Oh yeah.
That we can't get into, but let's talk about the how to, right? So you had the first video.
Yep.
Put it out. What was the response like to that initial video?
No, it was about almost no response. Mm-hmm. Cause I didn't really do it for a response. I didn't know what I was just uploading it. I don't know even why I did it, to be honest with you. And so then I did, I think, another video. Not right away, maybe a couple days later. I was in my car again. I was in front of the coffee shop downtown, and I just started like spitting game about crypto and how I was seeing all these people coming into the crypto space: taxi cab drivers, barbershop people. Nothing wrong with any of those professions. Just seeing what I saw with real estate, when I saw, when you see those types of individuals or people that aren't really even in that space, right? Their area of competency or circle of competence is not that, but they're in this space and they're saying they're experts or they're buying and making a lot of money. I'm like, I just started sounding off on it and going on about, how long I've been in the crypto space and all that and the changes I'm seeing. So anyway, I did that video and a guy by the name of Cliff High saw my video, and I followed Cliff at that point. I followed him. He's out of Washington. He's up in Seattle. Big on the internet, man. He's got like 300,000 followers on YouTube. Real big presence on Twitter. He's into the whole woo-woo. I don't know if you know that. It's kind of like conspiracy,
I've heard of the concept,
alien.
Joe Rogan. Yeah, I've heard of
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm sure Joe Rogan knows of Cliff High, but he retweeted my video and said, "This guy gets it." And that's when it all started. That was it. That was the Tinder bat. That was the match that struck, really catapulted me. So that's when I really started riding the wave. I wasn't intending to, but I wanted to take advantage of the opportunity. So I just kept doing videos, and a lot of his followers started, tuning in and stuff like that. And then eventually we kind of fell out.
So I can get some chronology here. You get the first video. How long before Cliff bumps up your content?
I would say maybe a week or two.
Oh, so you were okay. And then when you say riding the wave, like what did the changes in the numbers in terms of the subscriptions and followers look like?
I was starting to get, I jumped from a couple hundred, 100 or two, something like that, to like 2,000 in a week. Started really accelerating from there.
And that was from Twitter?
More so in YouTube. So the views on YouTube started really accelerating.
And for your process, when you saw that jump, how did that feel initially? And like, did you feel like you had to change things? Did you just kind of like, I'm just keep doing what I'm doing? Like, what was your?
No, I went with so I thought that's funny you say that, because actually at one point I was talking to the wife. I'm like, should I make this a very professional channel? Put my suit and tie on and, news anchor, get my Bryant Gumble on.
Right.
And
shout out to Bryant Gumble.
Shout out to Bryant Gumble. And I was like, nah, I'm going to do the total opposite of what I'm going to try to break the stereotype, the mold, right, of a tech crypto person who actually knows what he's talking about. He's not shilling. He's not just saying, get this coin and you're going to become a millionaire and all that shilling type stuff. I've never done that type of stuff. I'm like, but I'm going to keep it like me. I'm just going to, play the rap music, play, wear the baseball caps, dress down, and do it my way. And I'll either get followers or I won't, but I'm having fun, so might as well do it.
After a few weeks, your views shoot up. You make this commitment to be who you are and to continue. You're now over 10,000 subscribers at the time that this video is being recorded. How long has it been between then and now? Like
a long time.
Has it
a long time. But the thing, 2.5, 3 years.
Okay.
But the thing is, so in crypto, man, your subscribers is weird because it's a niche market. So on YouTube, it's very weird. It's very competitive. And there's not a lot of people actually looking for that. So if you have a person that has maybe 50,000 real subscribers, there's a lot of that fake stuff too. I have never bought a subscriber ever. I don't pay for views or anything like that because I don't see. You got to understand, bro. Like we're businessmen outside of the internet. I don't need having followers and subscribers and likes don't validate me. I don't need any of that. You know what I'm saying? We do well outside of this stuff. So I don't care. That doesn't define me or make me feel good or bad. So I just let it ride and just get quality, real subscribers. And I think that's the way that people should go. Is going to be possibly, most likely, a slower grind, but you're going to get a better quality audience, and then you can command more for if I'm selling ad space on my channel. The people that come to the companies that come to me, they know, like, they pay top dollar to be on my channel, even though I get 10 times less or 5 times less than another, because of the quality of my subscribers and my leads. I don't know if I even answered your question, but
well, I just I wanted to talk about, like, yeah, you did. It was a lead in around to kind of dive deeper on the growth. Like, I would consider, having watched your channel and seeing your interviews and seeing who's coming to talk to you, right? People that I think people are more available than others may realize. Folks that haven't started channels, like, dang, how did he get to talk to this person, or whatever the case is. But there is this like process to growth and how people think about growth, right? And so you've grown. What have been some of your main lessons in thinking about how to grow, why to grow over the course of the 3 years you've been doing it?
Yeah, it's consistency, man. You have to commit to doing it. And it's easier to commit to doing something that you enjoy doing, right? Not looking for a check. If you enjoy doing it, you're going to do it. So that's kind of, it goes back to what we were talking about earlier. Find something that, has the potential to make money, right? And then hone in on which of those segments or areas in that industry that you find yourself passionate about. And that's, I think, a winning equation, a winning equation for an individual.
What's the hardest part about doing it?
That's a good question. I think the initial, when you're not getting any views, you have good content, you're knowledgeable about the industry. There's a factor of race that plays a part as well in this space. You look at any blockchain, especially before now, we'll see how things happen post pandemic, but you look at any blockchain conference, I started to assess that. I'm like, I don't see any chocolate faces on the stage as a keynote or one of the speakers for any of these events. Rare. I literally, it was so bad it stood out. And you know how it is in tech,
right?
With the adversities we deal with, it's even worse in blockchain. So you're gonna have that to deal with. People don't think you know anything. Think that you're a noob. So yeah, that can be challenging. So you have to be mentally strong. And again, it's all about the passion, not about trying to be famous. If you just like what you're doing, just do it.
You touched a little bit on business outside of what you're doing on YouTube. What are those different areas? What are those different ventures that you're involved in?
I'm getting ready to start a podcast studio for rental. Doing that. I've got trading. I do that full time, trading. Build algos that I have to play with on a regular basis to maintain those. But trading, both FX, foreign exchange, crypto markets, and options as well, equities options. Web development, which I think you probably know me from as well, back when we were in Point to Light. I'm not doing too much of that nowadays. So that I just take care of the clients that I do have and maintain their stuff. But yeah, man, I try to keep my hands in a few pots, and it's doing well for me.
What about real estate?
I'm waiting for the right opportunity.
Yeah.
And I think it's right around the corner, to really dive deep into that, because I want to get more into the 4-unit and higher, the whole Grant Cardone kind of formula without all the, slick back scammery feel to it. But yeah, I like what he said about that, and that stuck with me. Try to get units with more than one door, basically, is what he said. So just still trying to do that. I know you were dabbling in the real estate too, right?
I was, and actually, you are how I heard about Grant Cardone.
Yeah.
You sent me like a text
Yeah.
message with a Grant
Right,
Cardone
right. Yeah.
video, and I was
He's
like, "Who is
something
this
else,
dude?"
man.
And
He's a used home salesman. That
I,
guy.
I think he's written great books. I read 10X. I read Sell or Be Sold. If you're not first, you're last. He's written some really great books. I think just about
You
like
gotta pull. He's got gems you can pull from and extract, but it's a lot of I don't know what I want to call it with him. But yeah, he's got some good principles that you definitely can learn from.
yeah. It ties back to the things that I appreciate about the stuff that he's written. It ties back to this like focus on consistency and the focus on follow up and like this the grind. Like when you are connected to people that grind,
Yep.
uh, you're gonna likely grind harder.
Exactly.
So I try to surround myself with information that kind of focuses on that. Like if the investment advice is like there's so many different ways to kind of like build whatever, right? So
Yes.
one person's way isn't necessarily the Bible.
No, it's not.
Kiyosaki was talking about that on your podcast.
Yeah, you can see. Did you notice I was trying to extract some more wisdom?
Yeah,
from
I know
brother,
he was not giving it.
He was straight Heisman Trophy. I'm like, come on, Kiyosaki. I'm trying to extract some. He's like, hey, just CV. They just got to figure it out. I'm like, all right, man. You're a legend. I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna keep trying. All right.
Yeah, you moved on now, and I think you did a great job in that interview.
Thank you.
Involving the other guy, who I don't know, but
okay, he's big. He's big, man. And actually, I have to credit him for actually getting me in the Kiyosaki interview. Mm-hmm. So Ted Seidel is the biggest whistleblower in history as far as money earned. Okay, he's earned, I think, $75 million in awards from whistleblowing.
Yeah, the numbers were impressive. I just didn't know who it was,
And guess what? That money's tax free.
Right. Yeah, people, trust me, bro. I'm not to know about a lot of stuff. Like there's this rap artist named Sweetie, this young lady. You heard of her?
Saweetie or so? Yeah.
Sweetie. Yeah, exactly. She's like the biggest. This another example of how uninformed I am about various areas of life. I don't really trip on it, but I learned about them through your discussion. So you have these various areas of business. You have a YouTube channel that's been monetized.
Yes. Yeah.
Talk a little bit about how that started, like how the actual.
So back when I started my channel, the criteria for monetization was a little less stringent. I think now it's changed. But you had to get over a certain threshold of views, and then it just automatically you were able to apply to become part of they call I think YouTube partnership or something like that. So yeah, affiliate or something. So I mean, I did that, and it was slow at first, and then it started to pick up. And it's interesting because what I've learned is that you see certain people views and you think they're getting a certain amount and they're really not. It depends on what category or audience you're in. So finance and personal finance and that stuff is gets the highest click-through, or not click-through rate, but cost per million or something like that. CPM, cost per million. They get some of the highest in YouTube. So the guys like I forgot the guy name. He does like all types of finance. He used to do all real estate videos. He sits in the office and he uses the hammer. He has a little hammer, Thor hammer. I don't know if you've seen that guy. He just did a video last week where he made $250,000 last month on YouTube alone from ad revenue. Granted, I think he had maybe 30 million views that month, I believe. Mm-hmm. But that's a lot of money because of the category he's in, the industry he's in on YouTube. YouTube is funny though, man. The algos are weird. I don't know what they do, how they do it. So I don't know, but yeah, I'm monetizing it for sure. But I make more money from monetizing directly. So doing 30-second drops for like maybe crypto exchange, or I've done crypto clothing, apparel companies. Crypto.com I did a year contract with them. We're going to be renewing that. So I've built long-term relationships with various companies, and that's where I make the bulk of the money. Mm-hmm. To be honest with you, that dwarfs whatever I make on YouTube.
And did they reach out to you, or did you shop for sponsors? How did it work?
They reached out to me. I guess they liked what they saw in the metrics, right? Because you can see your viewer retention, engagement, all that type of stuff. So that's what they were looking for. And they time and time again, this is what I get, man. You know, your campaigns perform better than guys that 10 times bigger than you. I get that all the time. So yeah, that's kind of how that went.
Yeah, that's interesting because you know, I'm sure you know the concept 1,000 true fans.
Mm-mm.
It was it's one of the. I mean, it's you know what's behind it. You probably haven't heard the term, but
I haven't. Yeah.
But it was coined by this guy named Kevin Kelly. He's the founder of Wired magazine, and essentially what he was saying was that, you know, in order to build a career doing what you love, what you really need is 1,000 true fans, people that are willing to pay $100 a year for whatever product that you are putting out into the marketplace. And so that's one concept. Another one was based on I want to say it was like a Seth Godin book that I read, and it talked about the difference between Sam Adams and Dozeki. And everyone knows the richest man in the world campaign.
Yep.
But
Sammy Adams is the richest man in the world.
the engagement rate of the Sam Adams drinkers is way greater.
Yeah.
It's like a much more loyal following, and they don't they don't have an ad campaign that I can coin, you know, but they have like these committed supporters of the brand. So So you want to be in the Sam Adams arena, which it sounds like you're building.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Yep, absolutely, absolutely. You know, keep it honest with your audience, and keep it transparent. And I think, like I said, the tortoise wins, man. Slow and steady. That wins the race.
Let's talk about Detroit.
Where my Detroit hat? I need to swap my hats now.
We spent a lot of time talking about what you've been building online. I know you were born and raised in Detroit. I have that correct.
7 Mile, Better Mile.
Okay. Yeah, talk a little bit about what the city is like right now. What's going on?
City is wild, man. It's getting wild, like from shootings to, and I think it's probably because of the pandemic and the stresses that any inner city group of people are going to go through, you know. So I think that's playing a big part, because I'm seeing it in other cities. Chicago is on fire right now as far as this violence and stuff, man. So, you know, I don't know, man. I don't know what direction we're gonna go. Dan Gilbert is kind of stepping back from a lot of the operations since he had his stroke last year. And I don't know what the vision or the direction for Detroit will be now, because he was spearheading a lot of that. So with Detroit, man, I've seen a lot of the downtown areas be gentrified. Not many black businesses downtown. You know, it's being built up for sure. But I'm not seeing us really thrive from that and benefit from that. So I don't know what it's going to look like on the other side after this pandemic, man. But I haven't even really been downtown since really maybe 2 or 3 times, a handful of times since the pandemic really started. So yeah, I'm not too sure.
And I saw the video, and we also talked about you getting COVID.
Yep.
How are you right now?
I feel fine. I have some aches here and there that I wonder if it's because of COVID,
Mm-hmm.
because that's been there's been some evidence that is the case. There are some lasting effects from the virus, but overall I feel fine. My wife's fine. Yeah, we're good. We're good. My whole family, we're fine. It's still growing here though. My wife works in the health system, so she sees it directly.
And you have kids, right? Or one kid, or?
Yeah, I got a daughter. Yeah.
What's the back to school look like for y'all?
So she's going to be online. Okay. She's going to be online. They just announced it last week. So it's interesting because I was just talking to a buddy of mine, a colleague of mine, like, hey man, I'm fine. Like I pretty much I can run my stuff from my studio at home. I've been flexible for years, so if that's the case, we're gonna work it out. I'm gonna be a professor or teacher blood all semester. But I wonder and I worry about those individuals, those families, either single parent homes. They have to go to work. They can't work office job from remotely. I worry about those, or the ones that are, both parents have to actively work. They can't work from home. What does that look like? You know what I'm saying? It's just weird.
Well, it looks terrible. That's what it looks like. Because I'm on the board of education here, and so I don't have my own kids, but we made the decision to remain virtual, and we're thinking about it like in a phased way. So the first 6 weeks of school will be virtual, which I have a lot of issues with because of the community of people you just talked about, and I was talking to some educators, some like elementary educators, and they're like, you can't teach somebody to read through a computer.
Man, this is gonna be weird. It's gonna be weird.
So when you have families that emphasize education, they're already doing a lot of formal teaching with their kids in various ways, like, oh, let's read this book together, let's go over these concepts. There's 2-parent incomes, but there are some kids that are still coming to public school to learn how to read. Yep. And that's like achieving that virtually is going to be very challenging. So it's a tough place to be in. In terms of like the opportunities in Detroit, I had an interview with a good brother. His name is Victor. He's based in Ghana, and we talked a lot about opportunities in Africa. The investment discussion about Detroit has kind of like been up and down. They had that mass exodus with all of the vacant homes.
Yep.
So it seemed like a
real estate. $1 homes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there opportunity right now in the city?
I mean, there's opportunity always in any city. It's just about if you can pinpoint it and get there before everyone else does, or sooner than everyone else does. So, of course, there's opportunity in Detroit. There are still homes here in Detroit that are very cheap, $1,000. They have land bank homes, $1,000 a home. So there's opportunity. But again, you have to be smart on how you execute on it, because you just don't want to go get a home in Detroit and the area is not built up. The infrastructure is not built up. The school system isn't there. You're not going to get the real attractive renter, right? That's how I look at it. So there are opportunities. You just got to kind of pick through them and find them. I think there are more opportunities elsewhere around the country. But yeah, there are opportunities here for sure. With the internet, man, you can really expand your brand and your business from any location.
Crypto and the Black community.
Yeah. I need you to get an interview with my man, Isaiah Jackson, author of Bitcoin in Black America.
Okay. I think I saw that book cover kind of scrambling around somewhere.
Yep.
but my sense is that your audience is wider than like a specific, like than just Black people who is sort
Well,
of
actually,
interest focused.
my audience is actually mostly white males.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
Yep.
so what do you where do you want to see crypto go with the Black community? What's your vision for that? Do you have one?
Yeah, for sure. I want to see, more people become interested in the idea and understanding the concept of money. Because Bitcoin essentially challenges what you think money is, So I want more Black people to start going down that rabbit hole. So I want Black people and inner city people to find out what money isn't, so that they can find out what money really is.
Mm-hmm.
And Bitcoin is one component of that.
Yeah, let's talk about that, because
Yep.
the way that people respond to money kind of looks similar, but we have some tendencies in the Black community that are pretty pervasive, right? There's like the ability to access capital. Obviously, if you're a business person, there's a struggle around that.
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of disinvestment, which hasn't allowed a lot of Black families to build assets.
Right.
Many of us have been swayed or focused on building the assets in like our homes or whatever, right? Like the home is the key way to build it. Get a job, buy a home. Now, investment in anything is problematic, and let me know if you think this is like inconsistent with what you've heard or experienced with people.
Okay.
It's problematic because people want to be able to like pull their money if something comes up.
Sure.
So like if they invest in the stock market, investing in the stock market is another area, right? Like they want access to the cash.
Right.
If people are thinking about crypto as an asset category,
Yeah.
like, and they don't own a home, they make a minimum wage earnings. This is not all Black people, right? But like for Black people that are in that category, what would you say to them about crypto?
I don't know if I have anything for them. Seriously, because man, that's a good one, because if you don't have any real money, any discretionary money, meaning any additional money that you can use to spend on frivolous, whatever, right? Gamble it or buy a new t-shirt, doesn't matter. So if you don't have discretionary cash, really at the end of the day or end of the week, maybe Bitcoin isn't for you. And the reason, see, I don't want people to look at crypto and Bitcoin and they're going to, that's what happened in 2017, but look at it as a get rich quick thing. It should be a financial hedge against the inflation that is occurring because of our Federal Reserve. When I say inflation, I'm talking about a weaker purchasing power with your dollar. So if it takes $2 to buy something today, but then takes $8 to buy the same thing in 5 years, that's inflation. You're eroding the purchasing power of your dollar. And that's what we've seen over the last 50, 60 years. This is why, grandma and granddad, grandma could stay home and granddad could work at the plant and take care of the whole family. It's not because, I don't know, there are many reasons people, make up for that. But that's literally the part of it that is the catalyst, is that the purchasing power of that dollar has eroded like 50, 60, 70%. Right. So it takes more dollars to live a certain and maintain a certain lifestyle. That's why you got 2 working households now. 2-member working households now, because it's just not, the price of living, the cost of living is so high. We don't have that luxury anymore. So I don't know, man. I just want to educate people, or I want people to become more educated about money first, not even crypto. Because once that light bulb pops on, then you're going to be able to the natural progression is to move to things like learning about stocks, learning about precious metals, learning about crypto. You gotta kind of build the foundation first.
What are your favorite learn about money books?
Who Stole My Cheese? Four Quadrants by Robert Kiyosaki. That's a big one. If people can jump to that right away, that's a big one, because the four quadrants really, man, that's the key. You understand that concept, because most people are going to be in the upper left corner, which is employee. Right? Then you get some people that figure it out, like, man, this ain't working for me. I can't work for someone forever. I'm never going to get anywhere. I'm going to start my own business. And then you get people get locked into that quadrant, which is the entrepreneur, which is fine for a little while, but really you inherit more risk if you're going to make the same amount of money as if you worked for someone, but now you're carrying more risk, healthcare, you got to cover that, and liability from, all that. Is it really is it a win? Is it a win for you? So you really want to move from that quadrant up to the top right, which is going to be investments. You want to start getting into the investments and really figuring out how to break that linear time for money paradigm that most of us are in. Once you break that, I think you're on your way to more financial freedom, because that's what it's all about. I mean, even with what you're doing, what I'm doing, we're doing this video, right? At some point, you're going to be big like Joe Rogan, and you're going to make money off this interview after the interview is done. That's that breaking the time for money paradigm that, people should be looking to get their hands into.
Yeah, the investment piece is like the most fascinating, right? Because there's like this, there's a book that I'm thinking about. I haven't read, I just heard it referenced. And it's called something to the effect of why do all of the traders have yachts, or something like that. And it was basically about how all of the money that people were making in the stock market was really the traders and not the people actually investing, because the fees that they were incurring or accruing allowed them to have like this massive wealth. And the folks, like the mom and pop investors trying to make it big in the stock market, were kind of like doing something similar to what would be akin to gambling. Like, oh, I'm gonna put it in. There are the safer investments and the unsafe investments. And so I have exposure to the stock market, but I don't really think about it. I do like the indexes, and I just kind of let it alone. I've been thinking more about maybe a similar like Grant Cardone concept. Like where's the cash flow? Like what are the things that are going to pay me on a monthly basis? If I need to pull something out, where would I get it? Or so like lending has been interesting. I haven't gotten into that, but I've been thinking about that, like earning money, just giving it to people and earning.
Well, you need to look into DeFi. That's exactly what DeFi is, decentralized finance in the crypto world. That's the hot topic nowadays. So DeFi, that's how I'm able to yield. I have my coins staked at crypto.com and some other places as well, but I'm earning 18% per annum on my money because I'm lending it out, but it's in a smart contract where it's pretty much safe because you're loaning people like a quarter of loan to value. So if I'm a person that wants to basically take my crypto and get cash without it being a taxable event, people will go give up their crypto as collateral for cash as a loan. That kind of circumvents. Yeah, that's how you circumvent the whole tax liability of selling your crypto. Well, that interest that they pay back is what, in the DeFi world, you're earning. So I'll definitely talk to you offline about that, man. Yeah, because you can earn some really good interest with that.
Well, yeah, and so the investment part is thank you for that, because I never heard of that. And those books I heard of, the four quadrants. I haven't read it yet, and
please. I mean, you know it. I mean, it's fine for you to do it again, but you already know because I'm
I'm already thinking about it. I'm just trying to figure out like, oh, okay, where am I going
the
to position?
details. Yeah.
Because
So like I said, the 4 quadrants is employee. That's the first top one. The bottom left is your self-employed. Top right is your business owner, where you do want to be. Being a business owner is great because you aren't time. It's not time for money. You have employees, they're working, so on and so forth. Investor is ultimately where you want to be. So business owner and investor, bottom right corner is investor. That's where people should want to be. Jeff Bezos, he was a business owner. Maybe he started as a self-employed individual. He turned into Amazon as a business owner. Now, I mean, the guy, he has so much stock options in his company as an investor. He's just making money, doing nothing. He can retire tomorrow from Amazon and still be the wealthiest guy. So that's the whole concept.
Right. I want to learn a little bit about the process you take, if any, about how you prepare. One of the things that I like about the way you communicate, like you enunciate very clearly, and I mumble my words sometimes, and you're like quick. When you're getting ready for an interview, what's your prep process look like? And did you like practice it all? Like, what do you do?
When I get ready to be interviewed or do an interview?
For your interviews, I want to talk about your prep process for your interviews, and then the prep process for your show where you're doing sort of the commentary.
Okay, great. So the interviews actually is funny. I don't go and look at any. So if it's a person that I know nothing about, I keep it that way. And there's different strokes for different folks. Everyone's going to have their own style. I like to be surprised and have like I just met you conversation when I talk to you. I don't do a lot of research, and I'll maybe bring up your website so I can at least have that come up on the screen while we're talking. But as a first time guest on my show, I don't go do any research. Now, if I have you on a second time, we may get into more specific topics, right? And then we can, I'll send you some articles or whatever. We'll talk that way. But yeah, I don't, and that doesn't work for everyone, but it works for me. I don't like to come in prepared like that, because then it's not organic to me.
Yeah, that's how I've been approaching my interviews too. And I like that aspect you just talked about, like being surprised,
Yep.
Like I love that. I was like, oh, for real?
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
That makes it fun for me.
Yep.
I also like, though, talking to people I had a history with, like doing this, my network of interesting people was way bigger than I realized until like I started like doing this. So I like telling people I've had some type of connection with before. And so the commentary for the news updates, the crypto.
Yeah. So that I do kind of prepare for, because I have to curate, right, the articles for the day that I think are going to be pertinent for my audience. Again, I really try to stay away from coin specific news. I do more general industry based news from a more macro standpoint. I think what I have to bring to the table as far as with crypto is that I am able to see a lot of changes or things developing before everyone else, before most people. I wouldn't say everyone else, before most people. Mm-hmm. Like my foray into Bitcoin was in 2013. Very few people knew about Bitcoin. I was telling you about Bitcoin back in, we talked about it back when we were in Points of Light, but very few people. So I have a knack for taking concepts and seeing if it's going to grow bigger into something. There's a book that I read called Super Forecaster. I'll have to drop a link, but it's a book to help you become a super forecaster, which is an actual profession. I didn't even really know that. But a super forecaster is an individual that knows how to take data points and read through them and come up with a prediction. So predictive models and stuff like that. So yeah, that's what I try to do. And I say all that to say, I pick articles and information for my audience to bring to their attention things that will, I think, give them an edge, a heads up, a little nudge, over other people to say, hey, okay, this is something I should really look into, or I should do this because of this piece of information. Like, for example, just last week, PayPal. I've been covering it for about a month and a half, but PayPal is finally structuring up to start accepting the sale and purchase of Bitcoin. That's going to be huge. It's going to be huge. It's going to create another wave, I think, in demand for Bitcoin from people who really don't even know about it, but because it's there on the world's biggest internet transmitting platform, internet money transmitting platform, I think it's going to be huge.
Do you also do a newsletter or any ongoing writing, or is most of your stuff video focused?
Video focused. I podcast. I do have a podcast as well that I just post my interviews on in an audible format. And I do live streams over the weekends. I'm starting to get back to those. I took about a 2-month hiatus, but I just did one this past weekend, actually, with Matty Greenspan. He's a former eToro analyst. Now he's doing his own thing. Brilliant dude. So, yeah, man. And I'll definitely have to have you on as well.
I have a few rapid fire questions before we get to those. I want to thank you again. I'm really excited that we got a chance to do this, and I'm so proud to watch you build. You know what I'm saying? I think me just starting my channel and seeing the success you've had with yours is like inspirational for me.
Yeah, that's what's up. I appreciate that, and I gain and kind of get energy and stuff from people like Hotep G. When I see Hotep doing well, that motivates me. So it's just that's why we got to create that circle of Black influencers and content creators, man, and really help each other out. Because the issue is, and I know you're trying to wrap up, but I just want to make this point. Issue is that the media has made Black content like we're all buffoons, or we got to be show monkeys and stuff. And it doesn't. We can have intellectual conversations. We can make good content, and then it doesn't have to be all ratchet and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad to see you doing your thing. Hotep's doing his thing. Again, a gentleman of crypto, Isaiah Jackson, and King Bless, they're doing their thing. So
yeah, I wish we had more time. I have to do another interview soon, but I do want to hear you talk about the abundance mindset before we get to the
abundance mindset. Okay, I think there's enough for everyone. It absolutely, I agree with that. There's enough for everyone. You just have to find what you're good at and extract from that. Extract the value from that. So make yourself worth listening to, and it's hard initially. But if you keep at it, it'll definitely pay off, I think.
All right, rapid fire. You ready?
Yes, sir.
What was your worst moment in business?
I would say probably Warranty Ninja. Yeah, Warranty Ninja. That was a crush, because we couldn't get any investment, man. All that work, you know what I'm saying? All that work and to see how the game is really played when it comes to Black tech owners. That was soul crushing, but a lesson learned.
And that's the venture you're talking about with Ed.
You, my buddy Ed. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Shout out to
Ed and Eddie.
Yeah. We talk a lot. He and I, we talk. He's a good brother.
That's my guy.
Do you meditate?
No.
Do you have a motto?
No. I don't.
What personal weakness can you forgive in someone?
What personal weakness could I forgive in someone?
Yes.
That's a good one, bro. None. There's no forgiveness with me. You mess up, it's over. You cross me once, it's over.
All right, last and final question. Who's going to win the presidential election?
Donald Trump. Donald Jay, that's his middle name? Jay? Donald
I
J.
don't know
Trump?
what the
I,
actual
I,
middle name
I
is.
don't know.
I heard
Whatever.
the initial stated before though.
Don Juan, he's gonna win. Donnie's gonna win. We can't have a president. Listen, it's the choice of a narcissistic person that Trump is, or a person that can't remember 30 seconds ago. I think Trump's still gonna win, man. He did a horrible job. Man, he's done a horrible job with this pandemic and dealing with that. I think every leader probably has their strong suits, right? His was business, kind of getting the economy prior to the pandemic, in my opinion. I mean, just look at the statistics. Black unemployment lowest in history. Blacks are doing well. People in general are doing well with Donald Trump's policies because he's a businessman. Now, all the political stuff, that's a whole nother situation because he's not a political guy. He's not a politician. Mm-hmm. So I think people, want to put him into the presidential box just because he's a president. He's not presidential. He's our president, but he's not presidential by any means. Mm-hmm. But I thought he did a great job up until the pandemic, man. And I was a supporter of his what he was doing for America, bringing businesses, he was trying to bring business back from China before the pandemic. He was trying to bring all that stuff back because that's what building wealth is for a nation. You have to build and create things, bro. We've gone so long as a service sector economy that's not sustainable. But he really took a few steps back, in my opinion, with this whole pandemic and how he handled it. I give him probably a D-.
Well, that was the last and final question. I let everyone say their answers, and
thank you.
And I hope we can have another follow-up conversation more about current events, politics, the Black family, and the like. So, Crypto Blood, thank you, good brother. I appreciate you.
Holla.
Peace, and thank you for listening to another episode of Cook on Monday Morning. At Cook on Monday Morning, we are building lives that make us excited about Monday morning. We believe that if you can own Monday morning, you can own the week. If you can own the week, you can own the year. And if you can change your year, you can change your life. I'd like to thank Crypto Blood for sharing his journey on building this YouTube channel with us. I learned a lot during our conversation. I hope you did also. We don't agree on every issue, but he's always been a generous man, committed to his family and creating value for people. And I root for everybody that's Black, like the Wale song. So thank you, Crypto Blood. I also like to thank you, our listeners, and those that continue to subscribe to the Cook on Monday Morning YouTube channel. I'm grateful for all of your support. I deeply appreciate it. Please share the podcast with a friend. Help us grow this community of doers. Take a minute to subscribe on YouTube if you haven't already. And you can also subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. You can also rate and review it on Apple. That's a huge help. It helps people find what we do here. If you're interested in starting a podcast, I wrote an article. It's called How to Start a Podcast During the Pandemic. It goes through all of the equipment that we use, some book recommendations. You can read the full article in the description below. Cook on Monday Morning is a product of the Luther Harris Holding Company. We work in partnership to create solutions that drive social impact. We do that by building strategic partnerships between businesses and government, recruiting diversity talent to high impact roles, and we help companies drive impact in the communities where they do business. If you'd like to learn more about any of that, you can email me at info@SteveonCook. I'd like to thank all the people that make our podcast possible. Our videographer, David Topete. Thank you, sir. Copy editors, Fernando Encico Marquez and Devin Sketchinger. I get up every morning with the intention to create value and showcase my love to the people that keep our cities moving. Those are our teachers, school lunch workers, custodians, social workers, firefighters, police officers, EMT workers, garbage collectors, bus drivers, and nurses. They are our employers, the folks creating jobs and keeping our economy moving. They are our gig workers, stocking our shelves, driving our ride shares, delivering our food. To all of you, this podcast is for you. You live in places like San Francisco, Oakland, Richmond, Antioch, San Mateo, Los Angeles, Dallas, Houston, New Orleans, Baton Rouge, Miami, the Carolinas, Virginia, Milwaukee, Kansas City, Cleveland, Detroit, Harlem, Brooklyn. Shout out to our listeners also that live in Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, and Ethiopia. To all of you, this podcast is for you. This message is touching the world and will continue to because of you. Until we meet again. Peace, peace, and we out.